Like a Hellcat.
Hello students, welcome to the sixth section of the chapter Nationalism in India. See students, you have already studied about the non-cooperation movement in the previous videos. We have studied how the different social groups, they have participated in the non-cooperation movement. At the end of the last video, we have studied about the incident that has taken place at Chauri Chaura, Gorakhpur in UP. On 5th of February 1922, we have seen that there was a violent incident has taken place, and due to that 22 police officials were killed, and due to this violent incident done by the satyagrahis or the demonstrators at the Chauri Chaura place, the Gandhiji has decided to take off his movement and call off the non-cooperation movement. So students, in this video, in today's video, we are going to study about these important topics. You can see 6 important topics are given here. So we are going to study about this. See student, this was the time when all the important leaders, they were tired of the mass agitation and the freedom struggle that was continuously taking place in the country. This was the time when they have decided that they wanted to participate into the provincial council elections. So when we have seen that they are going to participate into the provincial council elections, that was being started by the Montagu Chelmsford of 1919. This was the reform here. According to this reform, that it was passed to expand participation of Indians in the government of India. That means that more of the Indian people can participate into the provincial council elections. Their important features have been highlighted here, and the people, the important leaders, they have decided that they wanted to participate into the elections. So to participate into the elections, they have decided that leaving the mass agitation, leaving the mass struggle, they would be gaining the power. How they will be gaining the power? By getting elected into the council elections or in the provincial elections. So they have decided that they are going to participate into the council elections. Not only this, they thought of that we can protest the policies of the government, we can protest the even the government by participating into the council elections. And if we will participate, if we will win the election, we will come into the power. And after coming into the power, we can democratically and very easily we can protest, we can bring reforms, and we can bring the policies for the betterment of the Indians. So they have decided that they are going to participate into the provincial council elections. So we have seen that among the Congress only, there were 2 important leaders who have decided to participate and wanted to frame the party, Swaraj Party. So in 1923, we have seen that in January 1923, the Swaraj Party was formed. Who has formed this Swaraj Party? 2 important members of the Congress, Chittaranjan Das, you can call him C.R. Das, and Motilal Nehru. They have formed the party called the Swaraj Party. They have decided that they are going to participate into the elections. They have made their own political party. C.R. Das is also known as Desh Bandhu. His another important name or the title that is given to him, that is Desh Bandhu. See students, here we have seen that there were some members who were, you have studied in class 9th, that we have different types of leaders. We have liberal leaders, we have moderate leaders, and we have the radical leaders. And these radical leaders, they wanted to participate, and they said that more of the mass agitation should be there, and they have decided that we should bring the full independence. We are not satisfied with the partial independence. We want the complete independence. But if you are going to see the condition during that time in 1920s, we have seen that the two important factors have shaped the ideas of the politics. Indian politics was shaped by the two important effects. Okay, what all those effects we people have? Number one, you can have we have seen that there was a great economic depression. The great economic depression. According to the great economic depression, we have seen, student, that this has more of the effect, and initially this economic effect has given its impact on different parts of the country, on different parts of the world. Almost every country of the world was highly affected with the great economic depression. This was a worldwide problem. Every country was facing it. Even India was also facing it. In 1926, we have seen that the impact and the influence of the depression we can see all around us. The agricultural production the prices have fell down, and we have seen that slowly and gradually the economic and the export has also declined. Not only that, the production that was prepared and ready and manufactured, that has no value in the economy, and we have seen that almost it has become priceless. By 1930, we have seen that the economic depression has collapsed the entire economy. So knowing about the economy and the condition of the people were really not very happy with the condition. They were not able to pay the revenue, agriculture prices, and the products of these things were extremely low, has extremely fell down. Now the prices and the products, the people are not ready to buy. People are not ready to buy those products because there was an abundance of the production was already available in the country, and there was nobody who were buying it. So we have seen that the another important factor that we can see in the country that was also has affected the Indian politics, that was in Britain. We have seen that a new Tory government was constituted, Indian Statutory Commission, and this was under the leadership of Sir John Simon. Sir John Simon was the leader of the Indian Statutory Commission that is sent to India. See, there are 7 members in this commission, and this commission came in India in 1928. When we talk and when we study about the commission, we have seen that there are around 7 members are there in this, and it has come in the country to see the constitutional changes, constitutional functioning in the country, and we have seen that what all nationalist activities are carried out in the country, what all nationalist activities, political activities has become so active in the country. They wanted to keep a check. They wanted to keep eye on all these changes that were taking place, and why these changes have come, and why the people are really not happy with the constitutional changes or the functioning of the British government. So you can see that the Simon Commission, it was statutory commission set up by the British under Sir John Simon. This came in India in 1928, and we have seen that what these people, there are 3 important facts were there for what the Simon Commission came to India. Number 1, to check all the nationalist activities and all the political activities. Number 2, the functioning of the constitutional system, how the constitution is working and how the administration is going on and how the administration is working in the country and how the people get affected by it. So the commission wanted to study about it, and if any other problem would be there, so they wanted to bring the changes, they wanted to bring the amendment. This is the third important feature of the Simon Commission. See, when this Simon Commission came in India, this was really not liked by the Indians. The people were really not happy when this commission came in India. This commission has toured around in different parts of the country, and everybody has greeted it with the black flag. Black, you know, this color symbolizes the protest. That means all the Indians, they are protesting this commission. They don't want this commission to come in India. Not only this, we have seen that the people have started chanting different slogans. Go back, Simon. You can see that. Go back, Simon. Simon, go back. Simon was Sir John Simon. He was the leader of the commission, and he wanted to tour. He has toured around in different parts of the country, and he wanted to bring some changes in the constitution. Constitutional reforms he wanted to bring. But this was really, people were really not happy. And not only this, the people have done a mass demonstration of this. When the people have done the mass demonstration, why the people were not happy with this? There must be some reason. There must be a strong reason behind it. So for that, you can see that why it was not greeted with the, why it was, people were not happy, and why it was greeted with the black flag. You can see that the Indians opposed it because all its members were Englishmen, and not a single Indian was included in it. See students, if you really wanted to know about the problem of the Indians, then it is a requirement that there has to be an Indian member should be there in the commission. Indian member can really tell his problem and the situation and the condition, from what conditions they are facing in the country, and how the British government is ruling, and how their administration is going on, and how they are being exploited in this British rule. So when there is no Indian member, who is going to tell them their problem? So that is why it was highly avoided by the people, and people have boycotted it, and people have decided, they said, they have enchanted the different slogans. Go back, Simon. Simon, go back. Not only this, we have seen that people were really not happy with this commission. The changes that the commission wanted to bring, it was being decided that there has to be, if Indian members should be there, then only the Indians can suggest some reforms. Indian can really analyze, can understand the problems of the Indian people. So we have seen that during this time a great demonstration was going on, and people has brutally started repressing that demonstration. Not only this, in Lahore we have seen that Lala Lajpat Rai, the one of the trio among the radicals, he was leading the demonstration, and he was brutally lathi charged, and he died in that lathi charge. So people were really not happy, and when one of the leader of the Congress died, so it was a great shock for the Indians. So this was the time when Indians have decided to participate this was the time going on when they wanted to participate into the election, and they have boycotted the Simon Commission. So at this time, we have seen that Lord Byron, Viceroy, the Viceroy, Lord Byron, he has given a vague offer to the Indians. What was the offer that he has said in October 1929, he said that there has to be a dominion status for India, and in an unspecified future. So Lord Byron, he has given a vague offer to the people. We have seen that this offer has not really satisfied the thirst of the leaders. And among these leaders, we have seen that there were some leaders, Congress leaders were there among them, among the Congress leaders, the radical leaders who always believe in action. They wanted to have more of the mass agitation. So we have Jawaharlal Nehru, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, and the Subhash Chandra Bose. We have seen that they have decided, they were very assertive about the about this offer that was the dominion status, and this offer that was given by the Lord Byron. And whereas some liberal leaders and some moderate leaders, they really wanted to bring some constitutional reforms within the framework of the British government, whereas the more of the opportunity, more of the radical people, they have totally opposed it. So the act of, or the emphasis of the liberals and the of the moderate people was also not liked by the people. So they have given a very little attention to the liberals and the thoughts of the liberals and to the moderates. We have seen that in December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, Lahore Congress session was held. Lahore Congress session held in December 1929. In this session, they have formalized and they have framed that now they don't need a dominion status. That means a partial status or the partial power in the country. Now they have decided that we will not be satisfied with the dominion status. Now we need complete independence. Full independence means Purna Swaraj. So when we talk about the Purna Swaraj, the Gandhiji, the important leaders, they have decided that Purna Swaraj is, that means a complete independence. We will not be happy to gain a percent of, or 20% or a 30% of the status, or a freedom, or the reservation in the seats. We are not happy. Now we need a complete independence. Complete independence means Purna Swaraj. Purna Swaraj was demanded in the Lahore session, or you can see that Lahore Congress session of 1929 have demanded the Purna Swaraj. This was the day when the leaders, they have taken a pledge that now they all are going to fight against the British government. Among the they are going to fight with the British policies, which would really enhance the which would restrict them from getting the Purna Swaraj. So they have taken a pledge that they are going to bring the Purna Swaraj in the country. So students, we have seen that this Purna Swaraj, this day was a very important day, on which when they have declared it as a Purna Swaraj and they have proclaimed to get a Purna Swaraj. That was 26 January 1930. 26 January 1930, they have decided that now we would not be very happy to get a partial status in the country or a partial independence. Now we wanted to have a Purna Swaraj. So 26 January 1930, all the Congress members, important leaders of the Congress, they have decided to attain the Purna Swaraj in place of the dominion status that was offered by Viceroy Lord Byron. So they have celebrated this day, 26 January 1930, they have celebrated as an Independence Day. And we have seen that, see students, you have already know that there is an importance of 26 January in the Indian history. In 26 January has an important place in the Indian Constitution also. If you remember on 26 January 1950, our constitution was enforced and India became republic. Not only this, people have really highlighted that why 26 January is taken, has been chosen as the day to be cited and to bring the enforcement of the Republic Day. This was only the day when they have declared in 1930, they have decided that this day would be celebrated as an Independence Day. So 26 January 1930 was the most important day when they have done a celebration for the Independence Day. So in the Indian history, 26 January has a very importance. So 26 January, that is why 26 January is taken to celebrate and to be cited as a Republic Day. So every year 26 January is celebrated as a Republic Day. See students, this was the time when everybody was celebrating the Independence Day and they wanted to get the Purna Swaraj. The Congress has declared the Purna Swaraj as its aim. Now the offer, they have rejected the offer. So when they have rejected the offer, and what was the main aim of the Congress is now to bring the Purna Swaraj. To bring this was an abstract idea, how the Purna Swaraj would be attained, how it would be how it would come to India, and how they are going to acquire in India, how the Purna Swaraj would come in India. This is the greatest challenge for the Congress members as well as Gandhiji. So the abstract idea that was given by Gandhiji wanted to bring this abstract idea into reality. Okay students, so what would be, how he is going to change this abstract idea of freedom into the reality, this we are going to see in the next video, that is session 7 we are going to see it. So based on this session, you can see the assignment that I have given to you, the 12 questions. When you have seen these 12 questions, so students, solve it and do it. Till then, thank you so much.